anchor babies. He wasn't talking about people who are here on student visas, people who are here on H-1B visas.
You're always going to choose this weird exception.
No,
the fact is the system is being
weird.
gamed. Americans voted for Donald Trump because they saw these systems, these institutions being gamed. The asylum issue, the birthright citizen issue, Title IX issues. Every single part of society was being gamed by the left. And finally, Americans got pushed too far. The point is, you don't have to like everything in the restaurant to like the restaurant. There are things, I go to a restaurant, I don't eat any seafood, but I like that restaurant because it's got steak. There are things that Trump will do that I will disagree with.
You guys have got to see what just happened on Fox News. A huge fight here breaks out. A yelling match. Greg Gutfeld loses his mind on Jessica Tarlov. Let's go through it, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to smash the like button. What are your thoughts on the five? Do you watch the show? Right now, we got Democrats melting down everywhere. Obviously, Trump has been signing executive order after executive order, and Fox News decided to go live for their show, as always, right before Trump makes huge announcements. And this segment right here is something that you have to see. Ladies and gentlemen, take a listen to this.
They're crazy on the left. Speaking of, Jessica, we'll go to you next. What is your favorite, if you had to pick one, executive order?
My favorite as a Democrat or my favorite as an American?
I don't see why you should differentiate.
Well, because there's some partisanship going on in all of this. And
so
there are
you
points
admit that there's some partisanship is un-American?
I think to some degree, of course. I think
thank you.
There is some consensus to be had in this. And, you know, like the back to work policy that will penalize some people that I think have legitimate reason to need to work from home. And hopefully they'll be able to make their case, whether that's they, taking care of a loved one, they maybe have moved during the pandemic and are still doing their job effectively. But I think it's a good thing that people are in their office. I think that makes sense.
It's a good pick.
I think some of the DEI programs went too far, and everyone has accepted that in the public and the private sector, right? You have a huge surge of roles in companies, large and small, after the murder of George Floyd, and a lot of them have just quietly gotten rid of them even before it was clear that Donald Trump was going to win again. So I think that we can talk about things like that. You can even talk about the EV mandate. All of the automakers who share the same aspirations and goals as former President Biden have said, we're not going to make our targets. So obviously we need to reassess that to some degree. But when the judge says, this is what the people voted for, some of it they absolutely did not. And Donald Trump promised that he would bring your costs down right away. And he revoked Biden's policy to lower prescription drug prices or to make it so Medicare can't negotiate itself for prescription drug prices. That's not cool.
Where is that? Where is that?
It's look in the list.
Well, show me.
What do you mean?
There's a lot more to that issue, but
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, show us, bro. What is happening?
Did the American people on November 5th vote for 1,660 Afghans who are being resettled here, have gone through the government process, people who helped us during the war in Afghanistan, which is translators, risking their lives, people who are on target lists for the Taliban. They had their flights canceled.
The answer is yes, they did vote
for it. No,
they
didn't.
Yes, they did.
If you sat there.
Yes, they did.
No, they
Sorry,
didn't.
Trump did not hide any of this from anyone.
True.
And that's the difference.
You guys sat here and you argued that the Afghanistan withdrawal was one of the worst atrocities in foreign policy, that we left people behind, not only American service members and Americans who are still living, the American service members who passed away tragically and the ones who are still living, but the people that helped us for years during that war. And now you say, it's fine that their flights are just canceled?
No, I didn't say it's fine. I'm saying that Americans voted for it. That's the difference. I don't have to say it's fine. I'm just telling you the reality.
Did you vote to revoke birthright citizenship for the children of people who are here legally?
Do you understand what that means?
Yeah, I do.
Tell me about it. Tell me what birthright citizenship meant.
Well, I think when Donald Trump was talking about it and disparaging people over here, he was talking about undocumented people who come and drop their anchor babies. He wasn't talking about people who are here on student visas, people who are here on H-1B visas.
You're always going to choose this weird exception.
No,
the fact is the system is being
weird.
gamed. Americans voted for Donald Trump because they saw these systems, these institutions being gamed. The asylum.
Oh. He's about to lose it on her. You see, Jessica's trying to pinpoint little things here. First of all, we don't have to like everything Trump does. That's number one. Everything Trump does, I don't like. Everything, come on. You like everything everybody does? I don't even like all the things my mom does. Like, come on. We have things we don't like. But that doesn't mean that we didn't vote for this, for what's happening, right? Like, she's pinpointing certain things. It's so wild. It's like the 1% thing with abortions that leftists always do. But let's go here because he's about to explode.
On student visas, people who are here on H-1B visas.
You're always going to choose this weird exception.
No,
the fact is the
it's
system
not
is
weird.
being gamed. Americans voted for Donald Trump because they saw these systems, these institutions being gamed. The asylum issue, the birthright citizen issue, Title IX issues. Every single part of society was being gamed by the left. And finally, Americans got pushed too far. The point is, you don't have to like everything in the restaurant to like the restaurant. There are things, I go to a restaurant, I don't eat any seafood, but I like that restaurant because it's got steak. There are things that Trump will do that I will disagree with, but the entire package is as close as you're going to get to what Americans want. Trump is redefining basically what a human being can do in 24 hours. It's incredible. He did more in a day than Biden did in his damn career, and it's exhausting. It's exhausting.
Yo, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Literally, Donald Trump literally just got a $500 billion investment into the United States of America. He's out here making deal after deal after deal. He provided peace in the Middle East for the time being. I mean, come on.
He had 3 balls last night. That's 3 more than Adam Kinzinger. The guy hasn't slept in 2 days. I mean, the thing is, it's amazing. It's possible. It is possible. Donald Trump could complete his presidency in 3 months.
Right.
And then he could just say, you know what?
Is that a promise?
He goes, you know what, JD, you take it from here. I think I did everything I could do. It's incredible. And by the way, you brought up, and you said it was a good thing, you know, the fact that like these people have to go back to work, but then you mentioned all these challenges they have. Well, welcome to America. Every single one of us has a challenge, but yet we come to work. I'm not going to pay for their porn addiction. If they want to sit home in front of Pornhub and go, I have chronic fatigue syndrome. You know what? Everybody in America could stay home because they have a sick loved one or a baby, but they aren't. They're coming to work. They should go. I'm glad that he got rid of the appointees. I need work around the house. I pay well.
Greg's hiring.
But I'm not done.
Okay.
I'm not done. I got to bring up the Nazi hoax thing because we all know this is BS. And yet the media is redefining losing every single day.
He's talking about the Elon Musk situation.
Day one, they say Elon Musk made a Nazi salute.
Right.
And I'm beginning to think, they know they're lying. So why are they doing this? Because they realize they cannot rebuild their credibility. They're like a fat guy on death row. What's the point in dieting? You're already dead.
Looking forward to that last meal. Dana Perino, your thoughts?
I just add a couple things. So one of the things President Trump was doing was not creating new policy. He was getting rid of policies that Biden had put in place that people said they didn't want. And the ending DEI was 70%. So they supported that. Ending the EV mandates, that was 70%. Finishing the border wall and deportation, 70%. Now, they might not have gotten there without Joe Biden's broken border policy. That might have been a lower number, but that's where they were on Election Day. Getting men out of women's sports, that was like an 80-20 issue, maybe even more. Mm-hmm. And so it wasn't so much that there was like, oh, here's a brand new policy. It was like, here's all these things that you said, America, you did not like for the last 4 years and how I'm going to be able to make it better.
All right. Like Greg said, you don't have to like everything on the restaurant menu. You just have to like a few things, and you'll patronize the place day after day.
I will not spend my money there.
Okay, we'll see about that. President Trump expects.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, that was wild. That was a wild segment. I've never seen Greg Gutfeld go crazy like that. I've seen him go crazy a few times. Not sure what your thoughts are on him, but ladies and gentlemen, it's been a wild day from Democrats. Democrats have been losing it over and over and over. Did you guys see the woke bishop? I mean, the woke bishop situation was just absolutely unbelievable. It's everything I've seen. We have a bishop, Meridian Edgar Budu, I think that's her name, pleads Donald Trump to have mercy on the LGBTQ, and then she goes and says that there's a such thing as an LGBTQ for children. Just take a listen to this. This is a bishop, a woman bishop who is a part of the LGBTQ. I'm so confused. We start off with Jessica and we end up here because this is what the left is doing today. This is wild. Take a listen.
Let me make one final plea, Mr. President. Millions have put their trust in you. And as you told the nation yesterday, you have felt the providential hand of a loving God. In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families.
Bro, what? Look at the face of Trump, right? Trump already knows where this is going. Melania knows where it's going. And JD Vance JD Vance is not happy about this. Once he heard her say that about children, transgender children, well, come on, really?
There are children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families, some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meat packing plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals, they
look at JD's face. Look at Trump's face.
may not be citizens.
Look at him. Look at him.
Or have the proper documentation. But the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. They pay taxes and are good neighbors. They are faithful members of our churches and mosques, synagogues, wadara, and temples. I ask you to have mercy, Mr. President, on those in our communities whose children fear that their parents will be taken away, and that you help those who are fleeing war zones and persecution in their own lands to find compassion and welcome here. Our God teaches us that we are to be merciful to the stranger, for we were all once strangers in this land. May God grant us the strength and courage to honor the dignity of every human being, to speak the truth to one another in love, and walk humbly with each other and our God for the good of all people in this nation and the world.
Let me ask you guys a question here. As you can see here, and those who are watching this, she's blending in two different realities that contradict each other. First of all, in my opinion, they're like transgender children that are in fear. That's already disqualifying to me. I just can't fathom a bishop saying such a thing, right? Yes, we should have mercy on each other as human beings. Absolutely. But this seems very agenda-ish. And it seems like it just doesn't seem like it's coming from an actual bishop. It seems like if only in the United States of America does it seem like you could just cross borders and open the borders and have no laws. It just seems like only here in the United States should that be allowed. Like, yeah, we gotta allow everybody in, no matter who they are. And then Lake and Riley happens. And then bad things start to happen. And then people start to vote differently. People that would never have once voted for Donald Trump. People voted for Donald Trump. Donald Trump said that there are two genders. Everybody lost their minds. Everybody began to lose their minds over that. Do you want to know why Hispanics that normally would have never voted for Trump, black people that normally would have never voted for Trump, that's why they voted for him. They don't want to be confused. They don't want their children to be confused. This is a huge umbrella topic. I understand. The reason why I'm showing you this, the reason why I showed you Jessica Tarlov earlier, is because this is what the left is doing today. What they're doing with the Elon Musk situation. Elon Musk, he does a gesture, they go crazy. They're looking to go crazy about simple things, anything, everything. Have mercy on each other, absolutely. Love each other, absolutely. But are there going to be laws? Because if there is going to be laws, because there's a lot of people that went through legal immigration. They fought for it. They wanted it. I'm pro legal immigration. But there's a system that's broken. Even Democrats like Joe Biden, who signed an executive order to close the border months before he lost the before Kamala lost the election, they then say is a problem. Now you have a bishop standing in front of the world, embarrassing. And if you look at all the clips from this bishop, you start to realize, whoa, this is a woke bishop. This is what woke means. This is why people get confused. They're like, man, I have to vote for Trump. He says 2 genders. The other side says no. It's just simple things. And again, to Greg's point, you don't have to like everything in the restaurant to eat there. But man, I'm going to show you this clip so that way you guys understand what I mean when I say what I say, and why I think people like Jessica Tarlov are the reason, and why I think people like this bishop. This is why a lot of people voted for Trump, because of things like this, right? What this bishop just did. Now, let me show you a clip that's going viral that you guys just have to see. I'm going to show you this. Here we go, guys. Here we go. I'm doing this as I'm recording because I have to show you this. This is why people voted. Let me restart this. This is why people voted for Donald Trump. This.
Do you think there should be more than 2 genders in America?
Yeah, I don't know what that executive order means. I don't know what the president declared.
It means there are 2 genders, male and female. Do you disagree with that?
How many genders are there, Harry?
Yeah,
come on, little guy. How many genders are there?
Again, these guys don't know what they're talking about, so they won't be able to
Harry,
answer.
how many genders are there?
How many genders are there, Harry?
How many genders are there?
What's the leak? I'm gonna use Joe Biden's answers. At least 2. At least 2. That satisfies.
Well, how many more other than male, female?
That's a TikTok answer.
There's at least 2.
Yeah.
There's at least 2.
Well, no, hang on. There's male and female.
Kid is like human brain
Donald
rot.
Trump says there's male and female. There are 2.
Okay, Dave.
How many more are there after male and female, Harry?
There's at least 2. Now, anyway, let me get back to
How many more are there?
What are the other ones?
There's at least 2.
What are the other ones?
Harry, let's try it this way. You're a female. What is the other gender?
It's so funny. It's so funny how these conservatives just get time to lie on this show, but when I'm speaking, they all interrupt and there's no problem.
Question.
You've just been asked a very simple question, Harry.
Conversation with Piers, not you, Mr. Como. Relax,
Harry. You simply got asked if there are at least 2 genders. How many more are there than male and female?
Piers, you asked me about Donald Trump's executive order. I'm trying to explain how legally it makes absolutely no sense and it's going to get sued in court. Then we go into culture wars with Dave Rubin and this Ferguson guy asking how many genders are there. I'm trying to answer your question. They're screaming their faces off.
I'm asking you.
It doesn't fucking matter.
I'm asking you.
Oh God, this child.
I'm
asking you, Harry. How many genders are there?
I'm answering your question.
Harry,
Piers, I've answered your question.
Harry, how many genders are there?
2. There are at least 2.
2 or at least 2?
Are there 100?
Hang on, Ben. Hang on, Ben. I've got
More
this.
or less than 100.
Can I answer the question?
Yes, Cornell. Answer the question.
Can I answer the question
yes.
for Brother Harry? Because Brother Harry trying to hold
help
on.
him out, Cornell.
That according to Shakespeare, all of us are androgynous. There are men and there are women. There are different sides of human beings, all made in the image of a...
Oh, man. Ladies and gentlemen, this is all I'm going to say. All I'll say about this, right? Going back to the original clip here from Greg Gutfeld. This is why people are voting the way they're voting. This is why people who are not traditionally voters of Republicans, this is why. Simple things like this really do drive the factor. Simple things like this. There's a lot of other issues that they might not agree with, but boy, oh boy, they're looking around. They're like, I don't want my children around this. I don't want to hear this. This is black. This is in their eyes blasphemous. Make sure to smash the like button. Let me know what you guys think overall. It's been a crazy day. It's only going to get crazier. You get all the coverage here on the Lou Valentino Show. LV Nation, welcome. Love you guys. And I'll see you guys on the next one.